On August 20th, 2025, China was struck once again by severe flooding. Rivers overflowed their banks, sweeping through villages and leaving entire districts paralyzed. In Sichuan province, the disaster carved deep scars across both rural communities and major cities, as local authorities and rescue teams worked tirelessly to safeguard lives and property.
Oh, God!
In many counties across Sichuan, days of relentless downpours sent river levels surging, breaching flood defenses and forcing thousands from their homes. Roads disappeared beneath fast-moving water, cars were left stranded, and low-rise houses were swallowed halfway by the flood. Rescue forces were deployed at full capacity. Inflatable boats, rescue rafts, and helicopters worked around the clock to evacuate residents trapped in danger zones. One man, evacuated with his family, recalled, "We had only minutes to escape. The water came so quickly that we grabbed what we could and ran." Neighbors did not abandon one another. They held on, helping each other through the ordeal. Schools, gymnasiums, and government offices were converted into temporary shelters. Thousands of families found refuge there, receiving blankets, food, and medical care. Hot meals, bottled water, and clean clothing arrived from volunteers and local businesses. In such hardship, these small acts of solidarity helped ease the fear of being left alone in disaster. Sichuan, known for its fertile farmland of rice and vegetables, saw vast fields submerged. Farmers now face the loss of entire harvests, a blow not only to their families but also to the region's food supply. Livestock, too, was swept away or rushed to higher ground in desperate attempts to save them. Infrastructure has taken a heavy toll. Mountain roads collapsed under landslides, isolating villages. Rail services were suspended, bridges were damaged, and large-scale blackouts left communities in darkness. Communication networks faltered, complicating rescue operations even further. Doctors warned of health risks from contaminated water. Mobile clinics were set up in shelters to provide clean drinking water, vaccinations, and emergency treatment. Residents were urged not to wade through stagnant water to avoid infection and skin disease. Beyond physical damage, the emotional strain was evident. Families who lost homes faced deep uncertainty, while children suffered trauma from sudden evacuations. Psychologists were dispatched to help people cope with shock and anxiety. The Sichuan government mobilized additional military units, heavy machinery, and aircraft. Bulldozers cleared mudslides, engineers reinforced riverbanks, and helicopters dropped supplies into villages cut off by floodwaters. Emergency financial aid packages were being prepared to help families rebuild once the waters receded. Experts emphasized that with Sichuan's complex geography of mountains and river basins, the province is especially vulnerable to flash floods and landslides. Climate change, they warned, is making extreme rainfall more frequent, underscoring the urgent need for stronger defenses, smarter urban planning, and more reliable early warning systems. Amid the devastation, moving scenes of humanity emerged. Firefighters carried children on their backs through waist-deep water. Villagers linked arms to guide the elderly to safety. Community kitchens lit fires, serving hundreds of hot meals each day. This spirit of solidarity became the strongest pillar of resilience, carrying entire communities forward. As the floodwaters slowly receded, the scale of destruction came into view. Homes shattered, farmland buried in mud, and roads broken apart. The road back to normal life will be long and difficult, yet in the eyes of Sichuan's people shines determination. They speak not only of loss, but of the will to stand again, to rebuild from the ruins, supported by their communities and by the nation. This disaster is a stark reminder. Nature can be merciless, but the strength of human spirit, of unity and compassion, remains the fire that helps us endure even the harshest storms.
Natural disasters are real, sudden, and devastating. From earthquakes to floods and wildfires, staying informed can save lives. Subscribe now to follow breaking updates, real disaster footage. Let's raise the awareness and take action for a safer future. Don't wait until it's too late. Be aware, be ready, and be safe.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my gosh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
On July 8, 2025, the small mountain village of Ruidoso in New Mexico, USA, was severely affected by flash floods caused by heavy rainfall that lasted for several hours. The flooding in this popular summer retreat town, already at risk due to last year's wildfires, resulted in 3 missing people, the complete destruction of a house swept downstream, and widespread damage.
Follow the house! Follow the house! Oh, the house!
Authorities reported that the Rio Ruidoso River reached a 6-meter flood level on the afternoon of July 8th, causing widespread damage to roads and properties. As the floodwaters surged, 3 people, including a man and 2 children, were swept away by the fast-moving waters. Dozens of rescue missions were launched, including at least 85 water rescues involving people trapped in homes and vehicles. Several survivors were taken to hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. Local authorities deployed 2 National Guard rescue teams and additional local teams to assist with evacuations and recovery efforts. Some residents of the town, including artist Caitlin Carpenter, expressed their shock as they witnessed their homes being washed away. "I saw the flood take my house, and it was heartbreaking," she said emotionally. Flash floods and severe rainfall are particularly dangerous in areas affected by recent wildfires, as the charred landscape, unable to absorb rain, accelerates the flow of water. Ruidoso, which was devastated by fires in 2024, is especially susceptible to such flooding. Over 1,400 homes and structures were destroyed last year, creating barren lands that now cannot absorb water efficiently. The National Weather Service issued flood warnings for the area as the river quickly overflowed its banks, flooding both the streets and forests. Many roads were closed, and bridges were impassable. Local authorities issued evacuation orders, urging residents to move to higher ground. The flood peak, recorded at more than 6 meters, could be a new record for the area, though further verification is needed. Despite being prepared for the possibility of flash floods, Lynn D. Crawford, the village leader, admitted that the extent of the flood's destruction was still overwhelming. "We were ready, but we didn't anticipate this level of devastation." He said, "The local shelter systems have been activated, offering temporary refuge for those displaced by the flood. The smell of gasoline and the sound of trees falling due to the flooding reverberated throughout the region, further intensifying the sense of destruction." In the aftermath, floodwaters have receded, but recovery efforts are ongoing. Authorities continue searching for the 3 missing people, and municipal workers are clearing debris and vehicles stranded on flooded streets. The floods came just days after a similar flood disaster in Texas, where more than 100 people were killed, and more than 160 are still missing. Meanwhile, China is also facing catastrophic flooding caused by heavy rains in several provinces. On July 8th, Yunnan province in southwest China experienced severe landslides caused by intense rainfall in the city of Jiaotong, burying 2 homes and causing the disappearance of 5 people. As of the afternoon of July 9th, over 7,000 people had been evacuated to safety as rescue operations continue. In the eastern part of China, authorities are working to address the aftermath of Typhoon Danis, which struck Zhejiang province on the evening of July 8th. The typhoon brought 260 millimeters of rainfall in just 24 hours, causing significant flooding. Local governments have suspended rail services and issued warnings about further possible floods and landslides due to the ongoing heavy rains. These events underscore the increasing threat posed by extreme weather events worldwide. Floods, intensified by climate change, are causing major devastation, particularly in regions that have recently experienced wildfires. The rapid rise in water levels, coupled with the destruction of natural landscapes, is exacerbating the situation. Experts are calling for increased investment in flood mitigation, climate adaptation, and disaster response infrastructure. The ongoing crisis highlights the urgent need for better urban planning and disaster preparedness, as well as efforts to combat climate change. In conclusion, as New Mexico, Texas, and China grapple with the aftermath of devastating floods, local communities and governments continue their search and rescue operations while beginning the long process of rebuilding. It's clear that these events are not isolated, but part of a broader trend of increasing natural disasters linked to climate change. The resilience of these communities in the face of such destruction will be key to their recovery.